Everybody, welcome back. My name's Alexandra Janelli. I'm the founder and hypnotherapist over at Go Burble, and today I am here to chat with Candace Johnson of Touchy, who has done an amazing collab with us. And we're going to talk about the collab. So, first, as we always do in these, Candace, I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and then there's a bonus question at the end. And the first question is, can you tell everybody who you are?
Yes, I'm Candace Johnson. I am the creator of Touchy Feely Intimacy Card Game, and as of recently now, an intimacy and relationship coach who allowed me to do that. Who knows? And my previous experience, because everyone always wants to know, oh, did you used to be a therapist or did you used to be something in the wellness space? Not at all. I used to be a television news producer. I've produced many news platforms over the years, and just from being able to be so close in vicinity of people when they are having their highest moments of their lives, like the Super Bowl win and the Pope visiting, and then also the lowest of the lows. Obviously, when we have homicides or if homes are on fire, right? We all start with the same question: how do you feel? And so I realized just from being able to speak to so many different types of people that we really are living the same experience and just navigating it differently. So the game was created to hopefully give people an opportunity to see how much more together we are than separate.
I love that. And Candace did create this game, and it's really fun to play. It's got 4 different levels. It really helps you become closer with your friends, closer with the loved ones, closer. My children and I play it. I played it with my mother, played it with my significant other, and there's so many different ways that you can play it. And when I met Candace, I was like, gosh, this is going to be such an interesting, the more we've talked and gotten to know each other, I was like, we have to do something around intimacy for this collaboration and relationships and where that all begins. So I think what the second question would be great to ask is what is the touchy-feely mission?
The touchy feely mission is really to get everyone in a place of understanding their safety based on being guided by their nervous system energy, understanding, awareness, and education. Honestly, it's kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Do I have to feel safe or am I safe? Well, you don't know you are safe unless you feel it, and then you feel safe enough to lean outside of the lines of safety to go, oh, and look, nothing bad has happened. But of course, in a world filled with the reliance of trauma, right? This traumatic thing happened to me, so therefore I don't take these risks, challenges, or I don't color outside the lines. Well, that's not a great way of being able to really explore fully who you are, who we are, or what our relationship to people are. So, really, the idea, or is, I don't know what is or are, but to be able to have a game that's not therapy necessarily. You don't have to read a book. Nobody wants to read. Be able to pull questions out and ask ourselves these questions that are quite simple, and then to be able to relatively understand, okay, what is my relationship to the understanding of myself? And now that I've heard myself give an answer, do I agree with the type of person I must be based on the answer that I'm giving? And not only can we do that work internally, but then our partner or our friends or our children or whomever else is playing with us can also say, hey, okay, now that you've had the internal experience of what you feel playing the game, let me show you through a mirror what I experience you externally. And so, yes, at the end of all that, is it therapy? Of course it is. But what is therapy if not interpersonal relationships revealing who we are?
Yeah, completely, right? Intimacy, I think we all think of it in the sexualized way, but it's really about intimate is like getting like closer with someone through communication, and that's exactly what your card game is doing. And I love that because I think when you start to learn about yourself, you can really matriculate that all into like the who am I and be that person more thoroughly. Which leads me to our third question of what made you want to do the collaboration with Go Burble?
Well, number one, not only am I a user of Go Burble, and I was using it monthly, then I started using weekly, and now it's funny. Now when I wake up in the morning, I say, okay, let's take 15 minutes in the bed and let's do a burble. Like I'm really having to move myself into it as a daily practice. And every time I do it, I love it. Every day I forget it, I feel like there's a missed opportunity. And so when you came to me and said, hey, let's do an intimacy relationship style version of that, it felt like it was an idea I should have had. So a good idea, right? A good
Yeah.
idea. Um, and I thought it was such a great idea, right? Because when I speak to people, I'm speaking to people who may already be in their wellness journey. But what about the people who need to internalize the idea of wanting to get on their intimacy wellness journey? And so that's what I think our collab really does. It allows for people who are not comfortable yet to say out loud what they desire to be able to offer the quietest wish to themselves, which is this mantra that they can listen to, be able to start to build up their self esteem and character and understanding. Yes, I am deserving of love. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. This is how I'm going to present to the world so that I can receive it. And this is how I'm going to know that I not only acknowledge it, but I am in it. And so the fact that we were able to do that in such a short forum versus people having to go out, find a therapist that they click with, feeling encouraged to say things out loud that they probably haven't even shared with themselves. I don't know. I just really feel like we've taken the guesswork out for people who just want that. I wouldn't even say it as a step one. It's the prereq work to getting the thing that you want.
Awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed our collaboration. And I think it's always interesting because a lot of people might ask, well, how does an intimacy card game meet up with a hypnosis app? And what does that collaboration process look like? So, my next question is, how was the collaboration process for you and what was it like?
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. It really did feel like two worlds being collided together because I feel like an expert in my industry. And then, of course, particularly becoming a relationship coach, now I think I know it all. And what was really, really, really awesome about working with you is, and I'm sure you know this because we were in texts and conversations together, is hey, this is how you talk to people in coaching. But this is how you talk to people when it comes to that like subconscious state, right? Like having to have people be able to visualize the words and the pathway and how to move down it, right? Like it was so much cooler to understand how language, communication, right? These things that I teach, how they have to be manipulated slightly so that people can sort of understand it from the hypnotic state. And so I really, really loved it. I enjoyed it. The tactics are things that I'm even using more in my practice. And honestly, and this is maybe like a note more for myself, it's made me a softer coach as well because I've realized how much more harsh my language is. I mean, direct is direct, but direct can still be harsh. But instead of being so direct, how do I allow people to visualize so
Hmm.
that they can get to that direction themselves versus me just going, go this way, you know? So
Right.
I really loved it.
I had such a good time in this collab too, because, and I've talked about this in some of the other collab conversations, but it's so interesting. I'm always learning and growing as we go through these collaborations, and to be able to understand all that you've learned through your workshops, the game, playing with other people, playing, we've played together that there is this really unique moment where, there's what you learn, and then it's, okay, I know it, but that's the conscious level of it. How do I take it to the subconscious where the behaviors come from so for them to change? And I think that's what's been really cool about working with everybody is being able to take their vision, their mission, their language that they really want to deliver home to people and package it in a way that the subconscious mind can go, oh, that does sound really good. I would like that. And therefore, I'm willing to let go of these old patterns and create new neural pathways for them to start enacting in my life. And so I think with people, like what you're right, when they feel safe, they're much more likely to explore things, do different things, and experience life very differently. So I loved this collab process as well. Um, when we started the collab process, right, there's always a goal in mind of how people will leave after listening to one or all of the recordings within your sessions. What is your goal? Like, how would you like people to feel after they've listened to the Touchy Feely program in Go Burble?
Well, that's a great question. For me, life is a dual experience. And I just mentioned this. There's the internal experience and there's the external experience. And what I want people to walk away from the app feeling is like they have a hold on both those experiences. I want them to be able to understand how valuable they are internally, right? Even if the rest of the world does not acknowledge me, I am still of this value. And then when it comes to the external experience, be able to say, and now I know how to recognize people who see me the way I know I am. And I know how to lovingly let go of people who can't get there, can't see me for the way I am. And this is how ultimately between those two sectors, that internal and external experience, how we do create a bubble of safety. Because now not only do I feel a certain way about myself, but I have people in my external life around me who uphold me, uplift me, and show me kindness as the person that I am. And that level of self building creates an esteem that then carries you through being able to handle the people who will ultimately disrespect you or not choose to value you. But with such ease and grace, you can move away from those people because, well, nature is dual balance, right? People have to like you, people have to dislike you. So when you can appreciate that balance, then you're actually thankful for the people who don't like you. Because as I like to say to my clients all the time, if everyone likes you, it means you're a people pleaser. And if you're a people pleaser, then you are not a best friend to yourself.
That's me. I'm a people pleaser a lot of the time, working on it. I will say one of the coolest things about the card game, when I've played with people and yourself included, you're right. There are the moments of like, I really want the world to see me this way. And we all, let's face it, we're raised from kids to be validated, right? Like we like validation. And I think self-help has taught us like we're not supposed to want that or like that. But there's this moment when you're playing the game where hearing someone talk about you and share about you and how they view you and see you is really beautiful. And it like really does like fill the soul and help you feel much more on your way. And also having sometimes people call your bullshit, right? Where it's like that's I don't, you're not speaking kindly to yourself or that's not how I see you to sort of go, hey, shake it up. Like think think about this. So I'm so grateful for your game for being out there, and I'm really grateful for this collab. As we wrap up, I always like to ask just like that one fun fact about you that you might want to share, because we always associate people with like a fun story or something interesting. And so, what might that be for you?
A fun fact A fun fact is this: at 41 years old, I am proud that from as early as I can recall, I have always relied on what I know to be true. I am one of the few people I've ever known, I've ever experienced who believed myself first. I've never needed external validation, though I'm blessed as a child to have gotten a lot of it. I have never believed the negative marketing campaigns of other groups of people without actually meeting them. And I've always known that if I crave it, if I desire it, if I dream it, then it's mine, unless I'm too lazy to move off the couch because I'm eating something delicious. And so in my in my single digit childhood years, I saw how that was encouraged, but in a very timid way. In my teen years, I saw how it was I don't want to say threatened out of me, but warned to be mindful of my reputation. In my 20s, I was told to shut up and listen. In my 30s, I was told that I was too grown to act like that. But now that I'm in my 40s and I look around at other people in my generation, the level of satisfaction that one has in their life, on their body, in their heart, and in their spirituality says everything. And so the goal with our collaboration, with the game, and with people in general is to hope that you are so deeply satisfied in your choices that it does not matter what other people think. Because, quite frankly, everybody is only judging based off of their own parameters for what they themselves believe that they can do. And when everybody around me is not enough, I am perfectly okay to be too much.
Fair enough. Well, we love that. Being too much. Candace
Yes.
Johnson of Gushy Candies, Touchy Feely. Thank you, Candace, for sharing with us. And everybody, please go try the Touchy Feely program. It's launched, it's ready. Go find your center, feel safe, and move on with your life in a power way. Thanks, Candace.
Love you.